So for this one, I was thinking maybe we could mess around with some melodies, and I was also listening to some music the other day that had like a hip hop kind of beat with some instrumentals, and I think it'd be fun to try to reproduce something with that combination. Other than that, who knows? Let's just get started and see where we go. I want to bust out this chords tool here. Instant Lush. Well, that should be pretty easy. Let's start out with something simple and build upon that, and then maybe we'll get crazy and we'll like destroy it at some point, like what happens here on the sketch, in the sketch zone. Let's turn that up a little bit. I obviously there's a house beat there. Getting weird. All right, so let's pull in one of our pre-made racks with some kicks. Nice kick hat. There we go. That's a good starting point. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. There's our house rhythm. Well, it seems obvious what we have to do here, people. We have to get in there and trash this beat. Very unconventional way of trying to construct a beat is just using the arpeggiator and mucking about with the rate. Not for the faint of heart or stomach. But I guess the other way you can do it is with just using the arpeggiator. Is you can have a gate on there as well. Excuse me. Easiest way to make a gate, a randomizer, and a pitch, as you've seen us mess with here many times. This is one of my go-to recipes. Let's see, typically it's chance up and C sharp 3 with a possibility of one choice. Go. Chance up 100, sounds go in 100%, and you can pitch it from here on out. Wow, there's all kinds of variations we could do just messing around with the rate knob. It's why wouldn't we just draw in the notes here? Your guess is as good as mine. I guess this forces a bit of a different way of thinking, which in and of itself can produce much more unpredictable results than having just a bunch of notes drawn in there. That's always an option. We could easily turn these two off, turn our arpeggiators off, and just start drawing some notes in there. However, I kind of like a sense of unpredictability, a chance for the things that we build to have some chance in them that produces sounds and rhythms and whatnot that are unpredictable, that kind of, those spawn ideas and potential new directions. So I find it really healthy. It can be a little scary at first and frustrating if you don't know what you're doing. To produce things that sound, I guess, interesting, or if you have an idea in your head of like where you want to go with it all, it can be hard to try and chase that rabbit hole and try to come out somewhere on the other side in a meaningful place. Oftentimes you just have to succumb to things a bit, and if you're smart, you'll save a lot of different states along the way. So you can always go back to things. I'll just duplicate tracks sometimes. I'm like, okay, I like this version, so let's go ahead and start messing with it even more. And this way, I can always go back to this state, and you can duplicate it as many times as you want, and then in the end, you can just delete the ones you don't want. So many ways to sort of save your ass along the way down the rabbit hole. Cool. Gotta automate some of that. Yeah, I'm already getting really bored of this this basic biatch sounding tone. Kind of organ-ish, but I think we can just do so much more with it. And this hi-hat, I guess we've got a crazy noise on it somewhere, and it's very sloshy. So we'll go ahead and drop this in. I mean, we can have a hybrid in here with some sections that are driven by notes, and some that are driven by our arpeggiators with automations on them. When doing any kind of hip-hop stuff, it's, to get an authentic sound, you really do kind of have to go for samples. Not always necessary. I mean, there's a lot of like hybrid types of hip-hop sounds that, you can use drum machines, or, the 808 in and of itself is a drum machine that is based off of, sine waves and things like that. So analog circuitry type. Oh, that's something. Not what I was thinking as far as a snare goes, but not hard to craft a snare. And there are plenty of other things we can do here. We can have like a double. try to see what happens when we move some of these. Well, not too terrible, honestly. If we throw an automation stuff in an automation loop, so where we're changing chords kind of on the random with an unlinked snare. Cool. I think we're done here. No, I think we can take this even farther. We can really mess with it. Drop in a nifty probability rack, which I recently updated, so that means I have to use it if I can find it. Excuse me, I'm probably staring right at it. Oh, we're in the Mac section. I always get confused. It's so easy to confuse when you have like a ton of different presets. Oh, probability. Cool. Now this is set up to be a lot more to make more sense. 100% notes go through, 100%, 0%. That means no notes go through. This may not make sense. The chords are kind of most meaningful with 3 notes at least, in my opinion. But okay, so we've got our kick. I think we need to play with our automation loop that's controlling the rhythm of it. I'm going to duplicate that 4 times just to give ourselves some runway to play. We could hope for the best, pull this off and see what happens. Yeah, with this pulled off, you're going to start to hear a kind of off rhythm things happening. So we'll duplicate this now, twice the size that it was. I am curious what if we start to sort of play the ramps here, do we get anything? This definitely sounds kind of like a lo-fi sort of video game style hip-hop type of beat, and just sound overall that's not terrible, but gotta have some kind of funky bass. Although you typically always just hear this kind of music with the bass in there. You know, I'm hearing it now without the bass and thinking, you know, it doesn't sound half terrible. All right, so I'm gonna nix our probability gate 4 now. it is not easy to make meaningful melodies that don't sound really cliche or, you know. I find it takes a bit of time and effort, as everything, to create anything meaningful and interesting. It just takes a lot of time and energy. Cool. And there was I think it's one of these up here. Okay, so let's play with a bass line. But before we do that, I'm going to follow another trail, another lead, an idea. All right, modulation, yes. Ableton 11, love ya. Jeez, where is everything in this app? I just get so lost. Cool, we're gonna automate that for sure. This off of the grid just a little bit, so we hopefully will get some more interesting play with the auto pan there. Way too much tail, way too much tail. With more teeth. Could do something jumpy like that. We could really cheesy and sleazy. I think we need to just get some notes down and then start playing with some kind of something like that. Well, I could hit record and just try to play some of that and hope for the best. You never know. Maybe we'll get lucky. I'll take it. Let's also add an LFO to this frequency and see what we can get between the two, automation and LFO. So I guess we want it to re-trigger with each note, and also let's set it to sync rate, and a little bit of that. Let's see what we get when we just auto quantize stuff. It could be useful, or sometimes I find the auto corner just doesn't work 100% the way I want it to, and I just got to get in there and nudge some notes around. Cool. Let's drop a limiter on that. Maybe we'll try a more conservative type of filter curve. Too much chirp from that there filter. And that bass is definitely in your face, and I think a lot of that is that kind of high-end bite that is coming off of the filter. So let's try our tried and true auto pan turn tremolo. This is such a cop-out and a cheap trick, but you know, adding a tremolo can really make interesting rhythmic things happen if you play with the rate and have it synced. Okay, let's pull in the classic chorus phaser from previous. If I can even find it, I think it is in maybe if that was a Rax 11 thing that we had made. Yep. Now, what happens if we drop a pitch here and have an octave up happen every now and then? Let's find out. Cool. I mean, I kind of like it every now and then. So let's just get some of this classic nasty yeah. I like the weird robot-y spacey sounds that come off of that thing. It's a shame that Ableton 11's chorus doesn't have some of the features that the old version had, but I guess they figured nobody was using all that. Very FME chorus, which you don't normally find that kind of extreme functionality in a lot of choruses, so that's why I think I'm attracted to this particular one. And honestly, I didn't use this chorus hardly at all until the last couple of years when I decided one day, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try and just play with all the knobs on this thing and try it in a few different contexts, try it with some melodies, try it with some beats, just really try and put it through some paces and spend some time really focusing in and listening to exactly what all the knobs and buttons are doing. And at that point, that's when I really realized there was an intense potential with such a seemingly, I want to say, almost an innocuous effect, or just an effect that's not really that known for sound design, extreme sound design stuff. So looks like we got an atom bomb going off here on our incredibly, I don't know where this video came from. It was just some really highly compressed, extremely lo-fi kind of obviously lo-fi. Let's pull that there. Contrast down a little bit. Yeah, that bass is just almost farty, almost kind of turned into a flatulent. Could do is play with a probability gate before the chord. Actually, let me just pull this thing over before versus trying to hum with a new one, another one down. So that may create a little more variety and space within the context of this, and also. Playing with some of the I guess we could also mess around with the with this just comical. Almost has that like cheesy 80s Grandmaster Flash kind of almost Rick James kind of ridiculousness going on. Cool, and we'll turn this LFO on every now and then so we just get that cheesy business in sort of sporadic doses. I want to somehow spread out the stereo of this one a little bit more. Cool. Let's also sync rate this. And probably should dump a sidechain from the beat onto everything else. I do feel like it's at this point right now where things are just kind of stacking up a bit egregiously. So let's pull a sidechain from our, let's call this melody cheese beat and farty bass. Yeah. Like this kind of music is pretty easy to make. Of course, you know, it's not really a full song. This is maybe just one of like 8 or 6 different parts to what I would consider a decent song. I mean, there's certainly enough here that if we just variated, let me pull the volume down just a wee bit. If we variated a lot of automations along the way on our timeline, we would get, you know, a lot of interesting stuff happening. We could do a lot of weird stuff with the beat timings, you know, coupled with the melody and bass timings. But certainly, I think we would want to bring in some other sounds, you know. And, you know, it's hard to say what other sounds would you want to bring in. Honestly, I have no idea, and oftentimes I have no idea until I've recorded stuff out here into the timeline and can actually get a chance to sort of like play with some different timings of, you know, stuff here. And even after I do that, I might not have a clue what I want to do, and I have to just save it and leave the project for a day or a couple days or a week or a couple weeks, just depends, and then come back, you know, with fresh ears and maybe try to just drop in some samples kind of randomly, not really you know, think about it too much, and just see if any of those samples work. It's honestly like kind of a crapshoot sometimes. I find it's oftentimes just sometimes a giant happy accident, you know, just dropping a bunch of samples in and hoping for the best. And sometimes a lot of times they work out, you know, if I change the pitches around or manipulate different aspects of it, run them through effects, or, you know, occasionally I will actually be able to hear in my head some sound that would really make sense in this one spot, and then I can actually know where to go look for that sound. Or maybe it's just a clap, like we could use a clap in here, and I hope we have a clap somewhere. Oh, but first I need to get back to the task at hand, which was sidechaining from the beat. And maybe the bass also, and just the kick, I think, on the bass, because they're the two bassy elements. Just got to hammer down some random keys and hope for the best. This might be tough because we are actually, well, wanting our, I guess we could call this our lead, to match up with the melody cheese. And to be honest, I think we got too much of this sort of cheese happening. I want to kind of pull some of these, dial these back. And I want to pull MIDI from this melody cheese here, and then process it from there, so we get essentially the same chords and keys. And that's a, you know, cheap trick right there too. It's just coupling up two MIDI tracks. Doesn't sound terrible. Probability gate up and look at what's going on with the keys. I think that we can get rid of most of these chains here. I get rid of up to C2. Well, we could look in our clip and examine the notes. What's the lowest note that we have? And it looks like C3. So for the sake of cleanliness, go, and we can get rid of so much, probably everything above C4, but I'm going to go ahead and just pick C5 and up. So it's a, you know, a relatively decent generative thing going on here. And let's put an arpeggiator in front of this and give that a go. Okay. I've heard worse. Get a clip going so we can record in some automations. automation on and off every now and then. Oh wow, so we're also recording in there. I see. I think maybe put this off. Oh wait, let's get rid of these notes and see if that. So I think we need to make this end. Yeah, so we're only pulling notes now and using the automation in the clip. And the clip itself shouldn't record notes, but we'll see. Okay, that's better. And if I guess if we hit that on, yeah, we're gonna get some notes recorded in there, and that's good to know. So we'll just leave this record arm off. Now I wanted to turn this. So unlink that, pull it away so that it's following its own tempo timeline. Let's copy and paste this same compressor. We could group this lead and this melody cheese and just pull this sidechainer into the group. More of a traditional way to go about it. And I love that Ableton has so many different options and ways to do things that you can really avoid a traditional way of doing things. You can do things so out of the box, and in a lot of ways, a lot of times, doing things so far out of the box really provides and creates so many weird new ideas. Wow, really just garbaged up the melodies there. Oh, we've got a nice little beat sync on this frequency, a freak beat sync. Good song title. All right, let's figure out where's the rate for that? Maybe that? No. Some impressive, weird stuff coming out of there. I see a shift, a stretch. I don't really see a decay. I guess this locks it to a note. Okay, so that makes more sense. That is actually a note icon. Duh. Okay. So maybe we'll turn this off for now. Let's edit this probability here so we get only notes coming through at certain times. Unlink you. Also the name of a song, Unlink You, baby. Sounds like some millennial. It's Billie Eilish song title. It's level right there. Silly. It's always good to be on the lookout for song titles, no matter how stupid. So I guess in the end, who cares about the song title? It's really all about how does that song sound. Better to focus on that than give too much care about song titles. What if my song titles aren't serious? Nobody will take my song seriously. Seriously? I guess that is a mentality. You know, that is, I suppose that is the desperate part of the whole process, is trying to get everyone to take it seriously so we can, I don't know, whatever the end goal is. What, play a bunch of shows, get the girl, be Mr. Cool, have everybody lick our boots, you know? All stupid, cliche reasons why people get into making music. But I guess you gotta find the impetus somewhere. I guess that stuff is just not for me. Why do I do this? I don't know. I like a good challenge. It all started as a hobby for me anyway. A hobby that just happened to do some cool stuff, I guess, in the end. It led to some really cool opportunities, but I never really took it too seriously, except embracing the challenges. Like a good hobby will really inspire you and challenge you to challenge yourself more. So, which is, you know, I guess if it wasn't a good hobby, we wouldn't want to do anything, you know, with it. It still is kind of a hobby, and I do appreciate these sketches, as they do sort of also take me back to the feelings I was getting, you know, in the early days when I didn't really have any kind of ambition or reason to do it, except just like, this is fun and it's cool to make interesting sounds, and wow, there's a million effects to play with and they all do really weird things and they tickle my brain, and I'm addicted to that sensation. I need to get back to that and away from more of the atypical. Wow, that drum bus just takes everything up a notch. Cool. Well, you know, so far so good. I'm liking it. I mean, I think some aspects of the beat could use some finessing. Like maybe if we just pull this crazy chorus over here. Yeah, I kind of almost like that a little more than the where we could flip between the two. Yeah. Such a cheesy piece of music, but you know, great beat to study and or relax to, let me tell you. All right, so we'll call this main, it really doesn't matter. And let's see, main effects. And if we really want to sound like some of that lo-fi brain feeder or whatever kind of style, you really gotta just mangle it. You gotta smash it, smangle it. You gotta smangle it is what you gotta do. Well, let's just, I don't think we smangled it enough. There's an effect that also does this kind of over-the-top type of thing. Let's see if I can find it in here. Yes, it doesn't get any more smushed to bits than this. This is a free one, by the way, by Zephyr XFER Records. Highly recommend snagging it. All right, almost done here. What if? There's always that what if we do this one more thing. Yeah, let's get some of that random action going in there. Kick chance. And this is our hat chance. Hat chance, fat chance. Now we didn't have one on the high. I think since we've got C3 kind of running into everything, we can just easily copy and paste these. Give me my notes. Cool. And let's map these here. Yeah, I like that chance kind of messing around in there. It's making things a lot more. Probably get a little of that probability going on the bass. Also, our farty bass, world famous farty bass, I should say. Let's see what happens in here. Now we lose everything, and that's because we had stuff playing. Our notes are playing so low, and we can bypass that with a bit of a trick. We can scale up. Let's do scale up 24 notes. Actually, let's go 25. Let's see if that puts us in our zone and our range. Oh no, not 25. We want to go 36. And then let's go minus 36. Oh yeah, that was sounding great up there. Let's see, plus 36. Oh yeah, every now and then that thing needs to turn on. Cool. Now let's get some nasty sounding textural crackle maker. Let's get some vinyl in there. Lo-fi guy. Okay, and just to take it one last lo-fi further, we need a route to this main effects. I need to map everything into here, so that way I don't have to fish around too much. We'll get around to that little maintenance task. Gosh, I have a list of like a million maintenance tasks, which it's good to do. It's good to, you know, keep the studio and the workplace all like ready to go for creativity stuff. So that makes that, oh, here's a little phasing, so I guess, interesting. Oh yeah, because this effect, we've got a little delay difference between these two. Anyways, we want to send only this one. There, super old, it's just like, cool. Okay, so now it's time to take advantage of some follow actions, and let's just see what we got going on here. All three of these are on now. Okay, cool. I think what we have to do is turn all of these off, which I usually like to do anyway. Let's put some of these dummy clips here and see if we can just have the tempo change a little bit between these scenes here. Let's make them all random other. And action time. Yeah, we'll just make them all kind of fast for now. And I'm gonna mess with the tempo of this one. And let's see, let's stop it for a second there so I can get in here. I see. So wait, let's see. Maybe I had them all selected and that's why the tempo is the same on them all. Let's find out. That one's 58, and then let's see, we'll do 150. I'm just like kind of spitballing here. And then 60. Almost could be cool to do like a half of 114. And we'll make it hang out on and I see what we have going on here. Cool. So it is going to restart these every time it plays that plays this scene. If we set all these to legato mode, in this case, we won't get that. Let's see if I can actually find that. I see what they did there. This little arrow and then legato in here. So now, when these scenes play and it starts back to play this scene, these clips won't start back over. I think if we remove these, actually though, what happens is this clip scene doesn't feel like it has anything. Yeah, it won't play any of these other clips until we have some other dummy clips in here. Awesome. Okay, so what we can do here is we can make this one play for longer. Let's do this for 3. And then, so every 3 measures, it's going to jump to one of these. And this will only play for 2 beats. And this will only play for 2 beats. Let's go ahead and add in another follow action. We'll make this one 75. And it'll play for 2 beats. So, that's way too fast. That's like, all right, so we'll make this play for 2 measures and 2 beats. So therefore, it will only play these for 2 beats, and we'll make these jump back to the home base. Jump back to the first one, yeah. And then this one will play any other. So every 2 measures and 2 beats, we're going to get one of these weird, but for the most part, it's going to be 114. Awesome. So let's double check. See, we've got C0. That's our low. Okay, cool. So we should be good with our probability. And I think for this beat here, I'm going to create a few clips that have different defaults. Well, this can be our default, and then we can make this clip here. I have 100% automated on all of these. So therefore, when it plays this clip, we're going to hear no chance of things disappearing. And I hope I did that right. I think I need to hit stop, because as we've got these automating scenes, it's jumping to various clips. So let's play this clip really quick here and stop it. So we're stuck on this clip. And let me just double check here. Yeah, we need to remove that. And Control A, there it was right there hiding out. And now we'll play this clip and stop it. So therefore we are on this clip to automate in this clip. put it up to 100%. Let's make sure all of our, yep, cool. So when it plays this clip, it's on that. A little tricky. And then this clip, we can make it, yeah, so we get some weird kind of breakdowns. Let's push play, and then I'm gonna hit space to stop really quick. And now we can automate in these. I want these to be a little, we can automate out this, well, the probability down to 0. So when this clip plays, we don't get any hi-hats. And also we'll make that clip have very minimal kicks. And I'm gonna pull this up here, and then we'll give this 100% kicks, and then 0% on the snare. Oh, we're still on this. Okay, so I'm gonna undo. This is tricky because you have to remember that, you know, whichever clip it's playing on is more than likely it's going to be the one when you right click and choose show automation, you're gonna see the automation on the clip that's actually in play mode. So we'll push play on this, hit, oh, there. We want it to be selected. So now when we show automation, we can, we're affecting the automation within this clip. Okay, so. And then let's make some of these, let's just, I'm gonna, yeah, drag a copy down here. I'm gonna kill all the notes. So when any of these play, we get no notes. So really I can just duplicate those. So now we only hear the bass for some of these. In fact, I think I maybe want to just delete this. So if it jumps from one, if this scene jumps from this first scene to the third scene, it's still gonna play the melody cheese because we don't have a clip here to tell this one to stop essentially. And so I think if it jumps to the third scene, I'm gonna turn off the bass. So no notes. It's really interesting how it behaves in terms of it'll keep playing this clip if the scene jumps to another scene, but you don't have a stop action or another clip there. It just stays on the previous clip. So that's really useful for some cases. Okay, cool. So I think I'm good. This sounds pretty ridiculous, you know, and it's not what I had in my head. What I had in my head was much more mellow and easygoing, and this turned into a lot more funky and spacey and like sort of old 80s New York style synthy hip hop funk jam or whatever meets the new, you know, West Coast kind of hipster hop stuff that comes out of Brain Theater and other labels these days. Hope you enjoyed. I guess we'll maybe we'll try the more mellow lo-fi hip hop beats to study and or relax to at a later time. Until next time, keep it weird.